Right now at 5, a sludge tanker overturns, causing the death of one man.
We've got a few stray showers out there this morning. We'll talk about how long these showers will last and if we'll be any warmer today coming up.
And we take a look at gas prices across the 4 states.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5 a.m. I'm Tanya Bach.
I'm Chris Warner. So if you've stepped outside yet this morning, and I imagine most of you have not just yet, there are a few stray showers out there. So we talked about this yesterday, that we could see these showers. They're a little bit later than what we were thinking, but nonetheless, they are here.
And it's much cooler.
It has been much cooler, but the cool weather, unfortunately, not necessarily going to last, so enjoy it while you can. Let's take a look at Skywatch Storm Tracker. You can see this one line of showers that's oriented from roughly northwest to southeast. We actually had, you can see the remnants of, there was a second line right around here, but it's starting to die out. And here's the trick to the eye here, the little game they're playing. They're oriented from northwest to southeast, but that's not the direction they're moving. They're moving roughly west to east. So we're going to continue to see these stray showers. We've got a little more organized shower out in the far western parts of our viewing area, and these will roll through, and here in the next 3 hours or so, they will be out of here. The roads are a little bit wet from the MoDOT camera at 20th and Range Line because earlier this morning when I got here, I want to say maybe 3:45 or so, it was raining briefly in Joplin. KDOT camera 69 and East 520th Avenue, just south of Pittsburgh, looking good so far. And our camera at 7th and Range Line showing the same thing. So again, these are visual observations, and sometimes they're not always the most accurate. I can assure you it is not clear in Joplin, and earlier, of course, it was raining. We're looking really at mostly cloudy skies. Still chilly, though, 59 with a calm breeze out there. Humidity's up there at 90% because, well, we've been seeing some shower activity. Around the area, look at these temperatures. Another chilly one, 54 in Nevada, 55 Pittsburgh, a little warmer to the west, 64 Parsons, 61 in Chetopa, 63 Miami, and 59 in Neosho. As we get our morning started, we'll get out of these showers and transition to partly cloudy to mostly clear skies and go into the low 70s by late morning. Then as we head into the afternoon, we'll have a few passing clouds here and there. Otherwise, mostly sunny and warm. Temperatures today pushing the low 80s. Tonight, we'll go back into the low 60s. We'll be partly cloudy through most of the evening, but there's a chance, at least out west, of another possible round of stray showers out there. So we'll keep an eye on that for you. We're looking at pop-up storms as we head into Wednesday evening. Maybe a few thunderstorms Thursday, Friday, even into Saturday. Forgot to change that. Cooler is obviously not going to happen Saturday as we get warmer into the low 90s. Look at this, though. Father's Day, maybe a few pop-up storms, temperatures mid-90s. Let's check your forecast. Tanya, we're going to send it back over to you.
All right, thanks, Chris. 2 people are charged with murder in Dade County, Missouri in connection with the shooting death of their baby. Stormy Baker and Chelsea Martin are also facing charges of child endangerment. Investigators say last July, the 1-year-old girl was killed by her 3-year-old brother. Highway Patrol says the young boy told investigators he shot his sister in their parents' bedroom with, quote, daddy's gun because she had his toy. Court documents indicate the couple admitted to keeping loaded guns unlocked in the corner of their bedroom. A man dies from a sludge tanker truck overturning near EE and DD Road in McDonald County, Missouri. The crash happened yesterday afternoon. Now, authorities say 61-year-old Byron Lampkin of Bluffton, Arkansas, was driving the sludge tanker when it crossed the road and overturned. He died at the scene. No word on what type of sludge was in the truck, but the most common in this area is chicken sludge for use as fertilizer. And a tractor trailer overturned, spilling 40,000 pounds of steak fries. It happened around 11:45 Sunday night as officials received reports of an overturned tractor trailer on Baseline Boulevard near County Road 150 in Jasper County. Officials with the Missouri State Highway Patrol say the truck was heading east on Baseline when a tire dropped off the edge, causing the truck to overturn into a ditch. Officials say the driver of the truck was not injured. Crews had the site cleared around 6 yesterday morning. The Newton County, Missouri Sheriff's Office is asking for your help to find a man wanted in multiple jurisdictions. Authorities say James Herbert III is wanted for stealing vehicles in Missouri and Kansas. They say he will resist arrest, so do not apprehend him. He's 5'8" and 170 pounds. If you have any tips, you can call the Newton County Dispatch Center. Well, you may be thinking of summertime travel due to the weather warming up, but gas prices are slightly rising, and that's according to a Gas Buddy survey. The survey was conducted in more than 1,300 gas stations. The average price of gas in Kansas is $3.24, which is a 4-cent increase from last week. Prices are $2.04 per gallon higher than last month. And in the 4 states, AAA says Crawford County, Kansas stacks up to $3.20. Newton County, Missouri, $3.12. Jasper County, Missouri is $3.10. And in Ottawa County, Oklahoma, $3.11. We have a traffic alert for drivers in the Joplin area, specifically along I-44 at Main Street. MoDOT has announced lane reductions on the westbound I-44 bridge over Main. Now, crews will be making repairs to the bridge's driving surface. The work will be done Monday through Friday from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. And drivers are asked to slow down and be prepared for possible delays. Now that kids are out of school for the summer, a lot of area parents have been scrambling to find childcare. One local mother tells us she had to make some big changes to make sure her son could get childcare for the summer.
A lot of people are hiring everywhere, so I know that a lot of people are short-staffed, but it's one of those things that we've had to kind of adapt our lifestyle to ensure that we didn't have to kind of rely on others, which it kind of can feel as a new parent isolating.
KOAM reached out to Kids Clubhouse Daycare in Joplin, who told us staffing shortages is their biggest problem this summer. That's a look at this morning's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes. Coming up on the KOAM Morning News, it was day one of the MSSU Youth Basketball Camp yesterday. We'll have more details in sports. Plus, we take you to Iowa, where a group of grannies are playing one of America's favorite sports, basketball. And if you're in the heat, stay safe. We'll have signs of heat-related illness to watch out for. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. More real news in the morning. We'll be right back.
Pope's Pizza. Taste the quality for yourself.
Well, this year's Future Lions Youth Camp consists of children who range from ages kindergarten to 8th grade. Yesterday was day one of the 4-day basketball camp. At the event, the Lions basketball team is teaching everything from fundamental drills and hard work, but most importantly, the goal of this year's camp is to make sure the kids who are participating have fun.
Well, I think just energy. We try to bring a good energy, a good vibe each and every day, and for our community to experience that, I think it's unique, and I think especially for young people to take that out in the world and really share that.
The smile, by far. The smile, the laughter. You know, you can give a kid a ball and say, hey, go play with it, but actually teaching them what goes on, the details about it, and they actually enjoying it and loving it, that's my favorite part.
Still to come, how obesity could change the brain forever. Plus, we got another check of that forecast and when the hot temperatures are going to arrive when the KOAM Morning News returns. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, 5:14 on this Tuesday morning. Our young news assistant Gabe here, who's lived in Carl Junction all your life, right, is apparently unfamiliar with anything outside of CJ. So we were doing a count on how many Taco Bells, McDonald's, Walmarts, things like that are outside of his realm. We're going to have to take him exploring later. And today, great day to go exploring. Once we get through these morning showers, which, again, we know we need the rain. I want everyone at home to know we're not discounting that fact. I'm just simply saying we will eventually get through these showers. And despite their orientation, they have been moving roughly west to east, so they're going to hang with us for a little bit longer. We did have two little streaks streaks of showers, but that first line is kind of falling apart. Roads are a little bit wet in Joplin because earlier this morning we did have a shower roll through. That's MoDOT camera 20th and Range Line, KDOT camera 69 and East 520th Avenue, just south of Pittsburgh. It looks as though the roads are just a bit damp. Again, we've had a few showers out there this morning, and we'll continue to see those. Again, this observation not 100% accurate because you can see, even though it's dark, a couple of clouds out there. We're sitting mostly cloudy, 59 though, so that is accurate, and it is chilly, and it is even cooler up to the north. Take a look at Nevada, for example, sitting at 54 this morning, 56 Lamar, 55 Pittsburgh. Out to the southwest, a little warmer, 63 Independence, 64 Neodesha Parsons, 63 Miami, and we're sitting at 57 in Monette. We get our day started. Once these showers clear out, the clouds will follow suit, and we're going to go partly cloudy, mostly clear, low 70s by late morning. Not too terribly hot, but definitely warmer than yesterday, looking at the low 80s. And we'll transition between mostly clear and partly cloudy skies through the afternoon. We'll continue with partly cloudy skies as we head into the evening, and then out to our west, early tomorrow morning, there's a remote possibility of a stray shower or two again. We drop back to another nice mild evening into the lower 60s. Temperatures continue to climb. We'll see pop-up thunderstorm chances through at least Monday. And as we head into this weekend, we're talking low to mid 90s for our afternoon highs. Well, hundreds of older women in Iowa are able to enjoy playing a sport from their youth, teen basketball, at a slower pace and gentler level. Nicole Tam reports on the fun league called Granny Basketball.
A basketball game with a special set of rules. This is Granny Basketball, where every player is at least 50 years old. Among the rules, no running, no jumping, and granny shots get you 3 points when it makes the basket. Sue Manning plays for the Classic Chassis team.
I love the team that I'm with. They're a lot of fun. And then they made me coach and captain, so I feel a little responsibility to stay on.
You may have noticed the uniforms the grannies are wearing. It's a 1920s style uniform, mini blouses and knee-high stockings, all part of the rules.
Back in the day, they used to wear garments and things like this, so they just keep the tradition alive.
Trey Stanton helps run Granny Basketball. It's one of 25 sporting events that's hosted by Iowa's senior games.
And it gives them the opportunity to stay active, fit, and do things they enjoy and love.
The competition can get heated on the court, but at the end of the day,
They may look mean, but and very aggressive on the floor, but at the end of it, they're joking with each other, congratulating each other.
it's all for good fun.
Now, according to GrannyBasketball.com, there are more than 500 players in 10 different states. And that brings us to our question for you this morning. What's your favorite sport? Is it football, basketball, baseball, hockey, soccer, boxing, wrestling? We're talking like the WWE or AEW, or maybe something else. Make sure you take time to vote because we certainly want to hear from you. You can do so through our website, through our app, and take part in the discussion on our Facebook page. And we will return with Health Watch right after this.
Topping Health Watch this morning, raise your glass. A new study shows alcohol reduces stress and could lower the risk of stroke. Researchers analyzed the drinking habits of thousands of patients and found that those who had 1 to 14 drinks per week were less likely to have a heart attack or stroke than those who had less than 1 drink per week, even after adjusting for genetic, lifestyle, and other risk factors. One new study shows obesity damages the brain in a way that keeps people eating more. Researchers took 30 obese people and 30 people of normal weight and fed them fats and sugars using feeding tubes. This was to eliminate the influence of taste and smell. And then using an MRI, they looked at their brain signals. The people of normal weight showed brain activity indicating the person felt full, including in the brain's reward centers. The obese people did not show the same activity, indicating their brains did not think they were full or satisfied. More than 700 people on average die every year in the U.S. from heat-related illnesses, and that's according to the CDC. As the weather warms up, health experts say protecting yourself and your family is critical. Mandy Gaither has more on how to prevent sickness in the summer heat.
As the temperature rises, so does the danger. Each year in the U.S., more than 67,000 people visit emergency departments on average due to the heat.
Heat exhaustion can occur very rapidly.
While heat-related illnesses can affect anyone, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention say those most susceptible include seniors 65 and older, anyone with high blood pressure, and people who work outside in the heat. Heat exhaustion symptoms include heavy sweating, cold, pale, clammy skin, and a fast, weak pulse. Experts say to get out of the heat, loosen clothes, or take a cool bath and to sip water. Dr. Christina Butler with Mayo Clinic says to avoid going out during the hottest part of the day.
Waking up a little bit earlier to enjoy the sunrise and maybe spending more time outside over the sunset, because those moments of less extreme heat can allow us to be outside enjoying fresh air, but also being safe.
Heat stroke is a medical emergency when the body heats to 103 degrees or higher. Other symptoms include hot, red, dry, or damp skin, fast, strong pulse, confusion, and loss of consciousness. If these symptoms are present, call 911 right away. Medical experts say you should move to a cooler place, apply cool cloths to the body, and don't give the person anything to drink.
If you think about needing help, ask for it rather than delay.
Another heat-related illness to watch out for is heat cramps. Symptoms include heavy sweating during intense exercise and muscle pain or spasms. If you experience these, the CDC says to stop physical activity and move to a cool place, drink water or sports drink, and wait for cramps to stop before resuming activity. That's a look at some of today's top health stories. You're watching the KOAM Morning News.
And we're watching a few stray showers across the area this morning. These will eventually clear out and it will warm up. We'll have another look at that forecast when we come back.
Right now at 5:30, Menards is coming to Joplin. Or are they? We'll have what the company is waiting on.
And we've got ourselves a few stray showers across the area. We'll tell you about when these are going to clear out and how warm it's going to get coming up.
And the Pittsburgh Festival of Arts is underway. We take you to Root Coffee House to learn more about some American folk tunes played there.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's now 5:26. I'm Tanya Bach.
I'm Chris Warner. So we've got a few showers out there. Got another chilly start for us this morning. I mean, comparatively for this time of year, it is definitely chilly out there. And the chilly weather, unfortunately, this is really about the end of it here, at least for the foreseeable future.
I was enjoying it. I actually turned my heater on this morning.
I was able to drive here with no climate control on, and that was pretty nice this morning. Saves on gas that way. Skywatch Storm Tracker showing us where some of those stray showers are. We initially had a couple of little lines of showers. The first line is pretty well dead. The second one, unfortunately, is dying. The only thing we have left is this slightly more organized shower that's rolling through slowly but surely across the western portion of our area. So let's take a look over the last few hours. There was that nice first line. It died out. Here's that second line, and it's dying out. So all we've got left is this one. This again rolling roughly from west to east, but it probably won't last much longer either, unfortunately. MoDOT camera 20th in range line. We're looking good. Had a stray shower this morning in Joplin, but that has since obviously stopped. And we're looking all right from the KDOT camera at 69 and East 520th Avenue, just south of Pittsburgh. Got a few clouds out there still. Of course, a few more clouds off to the south where a few more showers are trying to hang on. We're sitting at 59 in Joplin, so again, a chilly start out there. Chilly as we look around the area, 55 in Nevada, Pittsburgh, 60 in Chanute, 63 Parsons and Chautauqua, as well as Miami. We get our morning started. Once the showers clear out, we're going to go partly cloudy to mostly clear, low 70s by late morning. We head into the afternoon, it starts to warm back up. We get into the low 80s today under those partly cloudy to mostly clear skies. Maybe a stray shower or two out in southeast Kansas this evening, otherwise partly cloudy, and we will be back into the low 60s. Tanya?
All right, thanks, Chris. Funeral service plans are announced for former Missouri State Senator and Joplin Mayor Ron Richard. He passed away Friday morning. Richard began his political career in 1990 following his election to Joplin City Council. He was elected mayor in 1994, and he joined the Missouri House of Representatives in 2003, becoming Speaker of the House in 2009 and President Pro Tem of the Senate in 2015. Now, Richard's services begin today at 5:30 p.m. with a visitation at Missouri Southern's North End Zone facility. The funeral is tomorrow at St. Mary's Catholic Church in Joplin at 10 a.m. The Kansas Department for Aging and Disability Services will be using a more than $3 million federal grant to implement youth suicide prevention and early intervention strategies. The grant aims to reduce suicides and suicidal ideation among Kansans aged 10 to 24. We'll support the department in reaching out to young people through various institutions and systems, including schools, juvenile justice systems, mental health programs, and the foster care system. Missouri has the most amusement parks per capita, and that's according to the personal finance website Wallet Hub. All those parks help the Show Me State earn the rank of 16th most fun state in the country. The ranking is also based on factors like restaurants, movie theaters, and casinos per capita, among other criteria. Oklahoma comes in at 27th, Kansas is 38th, and Arkansas ranks at 46th. A Joplin organization made a donation to a Missouri Southern program aimed at connecting education and industry. The Arvest Foundation, part of Arvest Bank, donated $5,000 to the MOSO CAPS program. The program allows students to sample life on campus while working towards professional goals in a local industry. The donation will provide students with grants to achieve those goals.
So MOSO CAPS is really helping build that industry partner pipeline and showing our students that there are great careers right in their own backyard. Students get experience in these industry partner settings, learning alongside the experts in the field, while they're also on our campus taking coursework that aligns to that career strand.
Missouri Southern launched its CAPS program last year. Maple Leaf Festival organizers announced the theme for this year, There's No Place Like Home. The festival will take place from October 13th to the 21st with various activities throughout the week. Parade applications will be accepted starting July 10th. Additionally, the festival is introducing a new logo, and merchandise featuring the new look will be available for purchase. A full schedule of events will be released later in the summer. To learn more about the Maple Leaf Festival, you can head over to our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. Home improvement store Menards is another step closer to coming to Joplin. The company has filed 3 building permits, one for the main store, one for a storage building, and one for a gate located on the property. The permits were submitted last month and are now awaiting approval from the city.
Each reviewing agency reviews their specific area. So the building, we're looking at structural plans, we're looking at the electrical drawings, we're looking at the plumbing, making sure it meets all of the minimum standards of the codes we've adopted here in town. Planning and zoning is doing the same thing. Our engineering department's doing the same thing. So each department, our fire department has plan reviews as well.
The permits list the building project at $8.5 million with the official address at 3317 South Geneva Avenue. Webb City City Council discusses possible ideas for a convention center in town. City Administrator Carl Francis says a local businessman last week asked for an area to hold gatherings, but the Parks Department also has had a need for an indoor recreation facility for quite some time. Francis says they're already looking at a spot that could be used for recreation and sports during the winter.
We're going to start looking for some funding options. We already have the land. We have land in King Jack Park that has been purchased for a long time. And we have a couple of initial drawings of what the facility would look like and how big it could be. But we really want to make sure that what we don't do is build a facility that's so small that it's not usable. So if we do this, I think the council's pretty much set that if we do it, we're going to do it right.
Francis says they're in the thinking phase now, and the council will decide if this is something they want to pursue. He says they want to hear citizens' thoughts about what could be done. McDonald County, Missouri Health Department is about to have a new home. It's been years in the making, and now it's nearing completion. The new location will be at 3446 South Business Highway 71 in Pineville. There's also a new administrator, Mike Hall. He started his new position on May 5th. He's a former sheriff of the county, and he believes the county needs this new space.
It's very important for the health department. We got more room now. Hopefully the services will run a little bit smoother. Having the expansion, having the more room, just going to help us, help the clients and everybody here in McDonald County.
Current health department is closed until Thursday, so everything can be moved to the new location. The new health department will hold a grand opening the evening of June 23rd, a week from Friday, for the public to tour the facility. You can learn more about the new building at KOAMnewsnow.com. The Pittsburgh Festival of Arts is underway. Local musician and retired music educator Jim Harris performed a variety of American folk tunes on different folk instruments at the Root Coffee House. The annual week-long event showcases different venues and musicians around Pitt State and throughout the community.
I like just making music, you know. And I have a degree in, in composition and theory. And so I, enjoy writing music and making up music and just sitting down at the piano and playing whatever feelings come to my mind and come to my heart. That's what I want.
There will be several indoor concerts this week featuring jazz, brass, Latin, chamber music, and more. There's also an exhibit on display at the Bicknell Center. Well, starting this fall, students at Missouri Southern State University will pay higher tuition. The Missouri Southern State University Board of Governors approved the tuition hike. It'll go up about $12.50 per credit hour to $280 for the year 2023. Chief Financial Officer at MSSU emphasizes the university faces rising cost of operation.
However, with this increase, we will still be the most affordable education among our competitors. And so we are very proud of the education that we offer to our students at that cost.
It's definitely hard for someone that has to pay for their own schooling. And as the prices increases, I will have to put a lot more work into it and work even more hours on top of, going to school. And that does not help me at all.
Total tuition cost after the increase will be $8,400 for someone taking 30 credit hours for the year. Well, this morning we're discussing sports, particularly Chris's favorite, granny basketball.
Oh yeah, that's the only one I'm good at. A basketball game with a special set of rules. This is granny basketball. Every player is at least 50 years old. Among the rules, no running, no jumping, and granny shots get you 3 points when it makes it the basket.
Definitely.
Do you
remember what a granny shot is?
Yes.
Underhand, yeah, just like that. Awesome. You may have noticed the uniforms the grannies are wearing. It's a 1920s style uniform, midi blouses and knee-high stockings, all part of the rules. Competition can get heated on the court though, but at the end of the day, it's all for good fun.
That brings us to our question for you this morning. What is your favorite sport? You've got a number of choices out there. So far, 60% of you say it's something not on our list, and another 40% of you say football. So make sure you take time to vote through our website, through our app, take part in discussion on our Facebook page.
I remember going back home one year in my hometown, Jetmore. They hosted a vintage baseball tournament, and everybody was wearing vintage uniforms.
Oh, I'm sure that was exciting.
Oh, wow, it was cool. They played old school baseball rules. Yeah, it's a little different now.
yeah, it has changed a bit.
Just a little. That's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour in the KOAM Morning News. We're going to go on a little trip to South Dakota to meet a World War II veteran who is celebrating his 100th birthday.
Plus, happy birthday to the band BTS. It's been 10 years since the beloved worldwide band debuted. We'll have the latest.
You're watching the KOAM Morning News. More real news in the morning. We'll be right back, but first there's a live look from Carl Junction as today is Second Tuesday in the park. Topping World Watch, former Italian Prime Minister Silvio Berlusconi has died at the age of 86. No cause of death was immediately given, but last week he was hospitalized for issues related to his leukemia. Berlusconi was PM 3 times between 1994 and 2011. In addition to his political career, he was a successful businessman, dying with a net worth around $7 billion. That's thanks to his media empire. Berlusconi's life in the spotlight, although headline making was marred by scandal. He fought allegations of embezzlement, tax fraud, and bribery. In 2013, he was convicted and later acquitted of having sex with a minor at one of his over-the-top parties. A new report finds one of the world's most important cooling systems is shrinking. Deep ocean water in the Antarctic is getting warmer. The coldest, saltiest water on the planet absorbs 90% of the world's excess heat and almost a third of human-produced carbon pollution. Scientists found the volume of cold bottom water in the Weddell Sea has shrunk by 20% over the past 3 decades. The reason is because wind in the area is weakening. When that wind cannot blow ice away from the ice shelf, gaps cannot form on the water's surface that allow more ice to form. The United States plans to rejoin the UN's Educational and Scientific Organization, or UNESCO, next month. The U.S. State Department said it had delivered a letter seeking readmission to UNESCO late last week after a 5-year absence. Former President Trump withdrew the U.S. from the agency in 2017, citing its alleged anti-Israel bias. UNESCO Director General Audrey Azoulay read the letter to the delegates sent by Deputy Secretary of State for Management Richard Vermado de la Garras during a session at the agency's headquarters in Paris. Well, a crime spree reportedly rocks Japan, and at the center of it all, Pokemon cards. According to a report by the Wall Street Journal, Pokemon trading cards are being stolen. Shop owners are losing tens of thousands of dollars. The report says at one Tokyo shop, 540 cards worth about $200,000 were stolen. We're in the wrong business, Chris. Thieves are going to extreme lengths to get their hands on the highly sought cards. The report says one man rappelled down a building, smashed through a window, and stole a Pokemon collection. Shop owners are adding more security and buying safes for their cards. Well, June 13th marks the 10th anniversary of the debut of the mega K-pop band BTS. Fans from all over the world are arriving in Seoul to celebrate the occasion. Paula Hancock reports.
This is the first the world saw of BTS. No More Dream released 10 years ago this week. Alongside backstage footage of 7 young men who could sing and dance, but few could have imagined the global stardom that would follow. From being the first K-pop group to debut at #1 on the Billboard album chart, to securing the most weeks at the top spot of any artist, beating out Taylor Swift with 46 weeks at #1. International fans have been arriving in Seoul over recent weeks for 10th anniversary BTS tours, visiting anywhere the band has made famous.
We waited for this moment for years and now it's finally happening.
A group of fans from the United States are flying in from different states for their pilgrimage, a trip 7 months in the planning.
We want to just, eat the food that they've eaten. They must have really good taste and just be in places where they've been, music video shooting, just to breathe the same air that they breathe.
Top of the tour list, a bus stop on the East Coast where the band shot its album cover, You Never Walk Alone. A regular stop for fans who refer to themselves as The Army, as well as the band's old home that's turned into a cafe, and this building where the band's agency used to be. We caught up with 2 fans in Seoul who travelled all the way from Scotland, undergraduate students who consider this to be the first of many BTS-related trips to South Korea.
It's emotional. It's very you're happy, but it's very oh my God, this is real.
They attribute the band's longevity to the serious messages they portray in their lyrics, topics they can relate to.
Their mental health talk is unique to them, honestly. I know new bands are trying to do that, but BTS have done it in a way they haven't before.
With 2 of the 7 members currently serving mandatory military service here in South Korea, and the remainder to follow soon, the group's record label Big Hit reportedly says they could reconvene by 2025. Every member has also had success with a solo career so far.
커리어의 전환점으로 삼자라는 얘기는 굉장히 오래전부터 준비가 되어 있습니다. 사실 굉장히 긴 시간을 터프하게 달려왔기 때문에 그들에게 휴식 기간이 필요한 것도 맞고.
BTS is marking its 10 years with a new single, a new book, and a festival by the river. Some fans are celebrating with a pilgrimage of anything their idols visited or touched or even ate. Paula Hancock's CNN Seoul.
I guess I can relate. I started liking New Kids on the Block when I was in middle school. So there you go. That's a look at some of your biggest headlines from around the world. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning. Morning. We've had some stray showers out there. We actually had a couple of little lines of showers. The first one long gone. The second one, these little blips here are about all that's left of it. The only thing we have left is this organized batch of showers now in northeast Oklahoma. It even reached into southeast Kansas. Even that is beginning to die. So unfortunately, we're not really going to get much out of this activity, but at least some of us saw some kind of shower activity. And as we've mentioned here lately, you know, some rain is better than no rain. MoDOT camera, 20th and range line. We got mostly cloudy skies out there this morning. Did see a brief shower up in the Joplin area, say around, gosh, what time was it? Maybe 3:45 this morning. KDOT camera 69 at East 520th Avenue, looking good. Of course, that's just south of Pittsburgh. Our camera 7th and range line, giving you a better view of those mostly cloudy skies out there. We are chilly to start, 59 in Joplin, but unfortunately, this is the last chilly evening that we'll have, because it's going to start to warm up. 55 in Nevada, 54 Iola, 63 Parsons, 61 Miami, and 57 in Neosho as we get our day started. We're looking at partly cloudy to mostly clear skies through the morning into the low 70s. We start that warming trend today. We climb back into the lower 80s under mostly clear to partly cloudy skies. As we head into this evening, we'll continue to have those partly cloudy skies. We'll drop back into the low 60s, and then we're watching the possibility of maybe some showers, maybe even a couple of thunderstorms overnight tonight into southeast Kansas, and then that could start to roll into the rest of the area by early tomorrow morning. So that's something we'll keep an eye on for you. The good news is, at least right now, we're not anticipating any severe thunderstorms with this activity. And we're not anticipating any severe weather with really any of this, but that possibility, as we've noted with pop-up storms, does certainly exist. And we'll have those pop-up storms all the way through Monday, and temperatures on the steady increase. And then we eventually get to Father's Day weekend. Yeah, we've got those scattered pop-up storm chances, but look at these highs as we start climbing low to mid-90s as we get closer to the official first day of summer. That's a check of your forecast. We'll be back after this. But first, got another live look from Carl Junction, as today is Second Tuesday in the park.
Well, Bob Hendricks never thought he'd make it through World War II. He crash-landed a plane and was taken prisoner for 6 months. Survive? He did, and he's still here, celebrating his 100th birthday. Parker Brown has his story.
There were many times in the life of Bob Hendricks that he didn't think he would make it.
No, I didn't. Not like this.
Hendricks served in the Navy in World War II in the Atlantic and the Pacific. He survived multiple kamikaze attacks. He crash-landed a plane on the coast of Spain and was a prisoner. He also was involved in a rescue mission pulling German submarine crew members out of frozen waters. As a token of gratitude, a German soldier offered Bob his hat, a trophy that symbolizes Bob's care for others. He was a recipient of a Bronze Star for his service. Many gathered to celebrate him reaching the century mark, including Representative Dusty Johnson.
Bob and I both live in Mitchell, and we have lots of mutual friends, so I've been hearing about Bob Hendricks for years. To a person, everybody talks about how much they respect him.
Another special guest was Bob's grandson, Wiley. Wiley surprised him by riding in with a group of other veterans. 3 years ago was the first time they rode in to greet Bob on his birthday.
I think what really touched me, though, was all the guys, they'd never met him before, but they all walked up to him, shook his hand, wished him happy birthday, said thank you for your service, and that stuck with me. And Grandpa got such a kick out of it a couple years back that it just seemed like the right thing to do, and just something to put a big smile on his face again.
Bob had a big influence on his grandson. He told many stories and taught countless life lessons. He was one of the reasons why Wiley served in the military.
He's taught me a lot. I think the most important one was, again, just being a good person and just caring for those around you, doing everything you can to help those in need. Just very proud to be his grandson. He was a very good example of what kind of man I wanted to be.
Bob has lived a century with kindness, heroism, and wisdom. He didn't think he'd make it, but he did.
Yep, and I'm still here. I'm still here, and I could drink beer. No.
Impressive man. I'm glad to hear his story. We'll be right back. A kitten in Las Vegas hit the jackpot last week. The tiny cat was trapped on the side of a busy highway between a concrete barrier and fast-moving traffic. Nevada State Trooper Estrada responded to calls from concerned motorists, but initially the kitten wasn't interested in being rescued. It ran away from Estrada, who was able to chase the kitten and scoop it up. Police named the kitten Trooper Kitty and helped him find a forever home. Wow. Well, watch this otter practice its basketball skills. Juno at the Oregon Zoo is impressing guests with her slam dunks. That's no granny shot there. The otter was taught how to dunk a mini basketball by zookeepers in an effort to strengthen the animal's elbow joints. Juno's practices used to be closed, but now a hoop was mounted into a rock wall, giving her the chance to show off this new school. The sea otter is relearning skills in order to be introduced back into the wild one day. Every wild otter needs to know how to play basketball.
Very true. We've got ourselves a pretty decent day today after these few morning showers clear out. We're looking at partly cloudy, mostly clear skies, low 70s by late morning. As we head into the afternoon, the warming trend begins. We go into the low 80s, again, mostly clear to partly cloudy skies. As we head into this evening, we'll go partly cloudy, and we're going to drop back into the low 60s. And then we'll start to see some showers, maybe even some thunderstorms late tonight across parts of southeast Kansas and into the overnight and very early tomorrow morning. They should start to spread through the rest of the area. Once that moves through, that'll leave us with additional pop-up storms tomorrow afternoon. Pop-up storms all the way through Monday, and as we head into this weekend toward Father's Day, yeah, take a look at these temperatures. Summer creeping in on us as highs go low to mid-90s. We'll be back with more of the KOAM Morning News right after this.
Right now at 6, a home improvement store looks to build a brand new base of operations right inside Joplin.
We've got ourselves a few stray showers out there this morning, slowly dying off, and our warming trend begins today. We'll talk about that forecast coming up.
And Webb City could soon have a new addition coming to the City of Flags in the form of a convention center.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. I'm Tanya Bach.
I'm Chris Warner. Just after 6 a.m. on this Tuesday morning across the 4 states. Some of us getting some showers this morning, but unfortunately those showers short-lived and they are beginning to die out. So if we take a look at the Skywatch Storm Tracker, you'll see where we've seen the only real organized shower, even a couple of lightning strikes out there, still in northeast Oklahoma, did earlier reach into southeast Kansas, but that part's died out. We had 2 lines of showers elsewhere, and those have died out as well. We can take a look at where we had there were those 2 lines. They died out. All we've got left is that guy, but it's eventually going to die on out as well. We're going to be much warmer today. MoDOT camera, 20th and range line showing us not a bad view. Some clouds out there. Same from the KDOT camera at 69 and East 520th Avenue, just south of Pittsburgh. And our camera, 7th and range line, we still got those mostly cloudy skies out there, but starting to see some clearing, and it is chilly. Look at this in Joplin, 56 degrees. South breeze at 5 and cool weather all around this morning, but this is the end of it, at least for the foreseeable future. 55 Nevada, Stockton, Pittsburgh, 58 Chanute, 62 Parsons, Chatopa, 61 Miami, and 55s in Carthage, Monette, and Neosho. We get our morning started. We're going to be partly cloudy to mostly clear, low 70s by late morning. And as we head into the afternoon, mostly clear to partly cloudy skies, and the warming trend begins. We go into the low 80s, and as we head into this evening, we're going to be mild, back into the low 60s tonight, and we're going to stay partly cloudy through the evening, but as we head later into the night, we're looking at some showers, maybe a couple of thunderstorms developing out in southeast Kansas, and those will eventually roll into the rest of the area toward the very early morning hours tomorrow. Good news is, though, we're not anticipating any strong or severe storms with this activity, but it will be the catalyst for the several rounds of pop-up storms over the next few days. We'll have another look at your forecast, including that 7-day, here in a few more minutes. Tanya?
All right, thanks, Chris. Home improvement store Menards takes a step closer to becoming to Joplin. The company has filed 3 building permits, one for the main store, one for a storage building, and one for a gate located on the property. Permits were submitted last month and are now awaiting approval from the city.
Each reviewing agency reviews their specific area. So the building, we're looking at structural plans, we're looking at the electrical drawings, we're looking at the plumbing making sure it meets all of the minimum standards of the codes we've adopted here in town. Planning and zoning is doing the same thing. Our engineering department's doing the same thing. So each department, our fire department has plan reviews as well.
Permits list the building project at $8.5 million with the official address at 3317 South Geneva Avenue. On Monday, the Webb City City Council discussed possible ideas for a convention center in town. City Administrator Carl Francis says local businessmen last week asked for an area to hold gatherings, but the Parks Department also has had a need for an indoor recreation facility for quite some time. Francis says they're already looking at a spot that could be used for recreation and sports during the winter.
We're going to start looking for some funding options. We already have the land. We have land in King Jack Park that has been purchased for a long time. And we have a couple of initial drawings of what the facility would look like and how big it could be. But we really want to make sure that what we don't do is build a facility that's so small that it's not usable. So if we do this, I think the council's pretty much set that if we do it, we're going to do it right.
Francis says they're in the thinking phase now, and the council will decide if this is something they want to pursue. He says they want to hear citizens' thoughts about what could be done. Well, the McDonald County, Missouri Health Department gets ready to move into a new home. It's been years in the making, and now it's nearing completion. The new location will be at 3446 South Business Highway 71 in Pineville. There's also a new administrator, Mike Hall. He started his new position on May 5th. He's a former sheriff of the county and believes the county needs this new space.
It's very important for the health department. We got more room now. Hopefully the services will run a little bit smoother. Having the expansion, having the more room, just going to help us, help the clients and everybody here in McDonald County.
The current health department is closed until Thursday, so everything can be moved to the new location. The new health department will hold a grand opening the evening of June 23rd, a week from Friday, for the public to tour the facility. You can learn more about the new building at KOAMnewsnow.com. Well, maybe you're thinking of summertime travel due to warmer weather, but gas prices are on the rise. That's according to a Gas Buddy survey. The survey was conducted in more than 1,300 Kansas gas stations. The average price of gas in Kansas is $3.25, which is a 5-cent increase from last week. Prices are $2.05 per gallon higher than last month. And in the 4 states, AAA says Crawford County, Kansas stacks up to $3.20. Newton County, Missouri, $3.12. Jasper County, Missouri is $3.10. And Ottawa County, Oklahoma, $3.11. And we have a traffic alert for drivers in the Joplin area, specifically along I-44 at Main Street. MoDOT has announced lane reductions on the westbound I-44 bridge over Main Street. Crews will be making repairs to the bridge's driving service. Work will be done Monday through Friday from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. Drivers are asked to slow down, be prepared for possible delays. To be the first to see breaking news, weather, and sports, you can download the KOAM News app. It's available free of charge in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. Just search for the KOAM News app. Well, soon, former President Donald Trump will be inside a Florida federal court for his second arraignment in 3 months. This time, he's facing more than 36 charges, alleging he mishandled sensitive materials. Now, Trump has denied any wrongdoing. Christian Benavides is in Miami, where officials are preparing for the historic court appearance and planned protest.
In a matter of hours, former President Trump will be arraigned at a federal courthouse in Miami. He has said he will plead not guilty to 37 felony counts, all stemming from his alleged mishandling of sensitive materials after leaving office.
I'm an innocent man. I'm an innocent person.
Prosecutors claim some of the documents contained information on U.S. nuclear weapons programs and military secrets of both the U.S. and foreign countries.
The total volume and the scope and the sensitivity of this material is an intelligence catastrophe waiting to happen.
Yesterday, the former president traveled from New Jersey to his resort in Doral, Florida, where his supporters and some counter-protesters gathered outside.
It feels a bit like a witch hunt to me.
Enough is enough. He needs to pay.
Protests are expected today outside of the Miami courthouse. So far, local law enforcement says it is not aware of any credible threats.
We're bringing enough resources to handle crowd anywhere from 5,000 to 50,000, we don't expect any issues.
Department of Justice Special Counsel Jack Smith also arrived in Miami last night. After his arraignment, Trump plans to head back to his Bedminster, New Jersey golf club, where he'll give remarks and hold a fundraiser. Cristian Benavides, CBS News, Miami.
And Trump's former White House valet and aide, Walt Nauta, was also charged as a co-conspirator in the indictment. Yesterday, Biden administration officials largely declined to comment on the case, though spokesman John Kirby said the president respects the rule of the law and democratic institutions in the U.S. That's a look at this morning's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes. Coming up on the KOAM Morning News, Pennsylvania's governor issues a disaster declaration following the collapse of an interstate bridge in Philadelphia. This after authorities discover a body in the wreckage. Plus, every year, around 40 children die in a hot car. We've got details on how quickly temperatures in a car can rise during the summertime. Chris returns with another look at your forecast and just how long the 4 states can expect these cool conditions to hang around. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. More real news in the morning. We'll be right back, but first, here's a live look from Memorial Park in Carl Junction, Missouri, in honor of today's big celebration of Second Tuesday. Topping Nation Watch this morning, a 33-year-old mother of 3 charged with the murder of her husband will remain in jail during her trial. Utah judge ruled on Monday, saying the evidence against her is strong enough to support a capital felony charge. Prosecutors say Curry Richens and her husband Eric were having marital issues, and in March of 2022, she slipped a lethal dose of fentanyl into his drink. She later wrote a book with her children about coping with the death of their father, Eric. Richens became emotional when a detective testified about finding his body cold to the touch. But officials say in the months that followed Eric's deaths, she searched online about how to hide evidence and about prison.
Did that phone search, quote, how to, period, permanently delete information from an iPhone remotely, close quote?
Yes.
Did that phone search, quote, luxury prisons for the rich in America?
It did.
Richens is charged with felony first-degree aggravated murder. She's also charged with 3 counts of possession of the drug GHB, which in large doses can be lethal. Officials in western New York say 1 person died after a boat capsized during an underground cave tour. All 29 people on board were thrown into the water, which is roughly 4 to 6 feet deep in most spots. Lockport Fire Chief Luca Quagliano says the 60-year-old man who died was stuck under the boat.
Personnel, we have an inflatable boat that we can launch virtually anywhere through the use of compressed air. We put rescuers on that boat to go down that 300-foot corridor, and we were able to bring back 3 or 4 people at a time. Altogether, about 16 were rescued via boat. Everybody else was able to walk that corridor back to the original launch spot.
Authorities say the rescue operation took about an hour. The man's wife was also on board. She was taken to a local hospital. The police are considering the area a crime scene while the investigation continues. Since 1977, the tour has taken place about 20 miles east of Niagara Falls, alongside the Erie Canal. Pennsylvania authorities discover a body in the wreckage from the Interstate 95 bridge collapse. The Philadelphia County Medical Examiner is in the process of identifying the remains. Meanwhile, state and federal officials are working towards restoring the crumpled roadway. John Lawrence reports.
Philadelphia commuters frustrated by thicker than usual traffic.
It's just nonstop. It's just hit after hit after hit. It just keeps coming. It's a nightmare.
Getting around the city of brotherly love is a battle after a section of I-95 collapsed Sunday. Police say it was caused by a tanker truck after the driver lost control and crashed into a wall. The fire that broke out following the accident brought the bridge down.
PennDOT's contractors will work 24/7 in an effort to try and speed up the solution set, and we continue to engineer the solution set that will come after the demolition is completed, and we expect that demolition to be completed in 4 or 5 days.
Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro issued a disaster declaration which will allow the state to get federal funds more quickly and help speed up the repair process.
The entire region affected by this will have the full support
of the United States Department of Transportation for as long as it takes to get that restored to normal.
Until then, drivers in the Philadelphia area are going to have to deal with detours and bumper-to-bumper conditions.
People in their neighborhoods are not going to appreciate all the extra traffic, especially with their kids and summer starting and schools being out. It's going to be a lot of kids running around and a lot of angry people out there, so it's going to be rough. They better get it done quick, get every crew on there they can.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
Officials have said it could take months for the repair work to be complete. Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg is scheduled to visit the site of the collapse today. That's according to his spokesperson. That's a look at some of today's top national stories. Here's Chris with a look at your forecast.
As we take a look at the Skywatch Storm Tracker, you can see we've got a few scattered showers out there across the area. We are going to see these clear out and the warming trend will begin today. We'll take a full look at that forecast when the KOAM Morning News returns. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. It is now 6:18, almost 6:19 on this Tuesday morning here in the 4 states. Taking a look at Skywatch Storm Tracker. We got those partly cloudy skies for most of us. This one lone shower now starting to enter portions of western Ottawa and northwestern Delaware County. And this is all that's left after we actually had a couple of decent little strands of showers, and it just began to die out rather quickly, and we are going to be much warmer today. Well, not much warmer. We're going to be warmer today than what we were yesterday. MoDOT camera 20 of the range line. Looking back to the west, you can see the sunshine on the front of the Bel Air Center. And as we look at the KDOT camera at 69 and East 520th Avenue, just south of Pittsburgh, this line of trees blocking most of the sunlight. But if you look way out here, you can start to see a little bit of it coming on through. And take a look at our camera at 7th and range line. Look at, I mean, my goodness, there are just some days it is just absolutely gorgeous. This is one of those days where the coloring, the lighting, all of that just absolutely beautiful this morning. All right, now we've taken that in, let's take a look at temperatures. It is a chilly morning too. We got like almost spring-like conditions. We're at 56 in Joplin. We got partly to mostly cloudy skies out there. South breeze at about 5 miles an hour. Around the region, it is again a chilly start. Set at 55, Nevada, Stockton, Carthage, Monette, Neosho. 61, Miami. 62, Chautauqua, Parsons, Neodesha. 58, Chanute. And 57, Fort Scott, sitting at 55 in Pittsburgh. As we get our day started, we're going to have those mostly clear to partly cloudy skies, getting up into the low 70s by late morning. Yesterday, it was the upper 60s, so it's a gradual warm up today. We're warmer, but not significantly warmer than yesterday. We're looking at highs, low 80s, again under mostly clear to partly cloudy skies across the area. Then we head into this evening. We're keeping an eye on something for you. We'll talk about that in just a second here. We're going to be partly cloudy as the evening progresses. We're going to drop back into the low 60s. There's a couple of computer models that seem to suggest the possibility of some showers and thunderstorms developing out to our west and then rolling into southeast Kansas late tonight. We're talking midnight, 1 a.m., and potentially surviving overnight and moving into southwest Missouri by very early tomorrow morning. By very early tomorrow morning, we're talking maybe 3, 4 a.m. We're not anticipating any strong or severe storms. We'll keep an eye on it for you, but that is one possibility. After that rolls through, though, it's going to set the stage for some pop-up storms later on Wednesday afternoon, and we'll have those pop-up thunderstorm chances all the way through at least Monday. And our temperatures, as we get closer to summertime officially starting, will continue to warm. We're going to go low 80s again tomorrow, mid 80s Thursday, low 90s by Friday, low to mid 90s Saturday, mid to maybe even upper 90s by Father's Day, back to the mid 90s Monday. And the good news is we have seen at least some changes in terms of temperature as we head into next week toward the first day of summer, but of course still several days out. We'll see what other changes may take place, but one way or the other, it's going to be hot. Monday, we're looking at mid-90s. Tuesday, low 90s. Same Wednesday, Thursday. First official day of summer is this Wednesday. We're looking at about 91. And, of course, with the heat, the humidity, we see the possibility of some additional pop-up storms as we head toward the middle of next week. That is a check of your forecast. We will be back with Health Watch right after this.
Topping Health Watch this morning, light to moderate alcohol consumption may be associated with a lower risk of heart disease. A study from Massachusetts General Hospital says having 1 drink per day for women or 1 to 2 for men can reduce stress signaling in the brain, which in turn can reduce the possibility of heart attacks or strokes. Still, researchers say drinking has other negative effects, including a higher risk of cancer. Individuals with obesity have a reduced brain response to nutrients in food, and it does not improve even after weight loss. That's according to researchers with Amsterdam UMC and Yale University, who found those with obesity release less dopamine in the area of the brain that is important for food intake. That means their brain is not rewarding them properly to signal they're full or satisfied while eating. And the Food and Drug Administration drafts new guidance on tattoo ink to protect consumers from microorganisms that can cause infections. The FDA is offering recommendations to help manufacturers and distributors identify when ink is contaminated with bacteria or mold and how to prevent it as well. Since 2003, there have been at least 18 recalls due to microorganisms. Now, as the weather gets warmer, a reminder that leaving a child in a car for any amount of time can be dangerous, even deadly. Around 40 children die every year in the U.S. from heat stroke, either because they were left in a car that became hot or they were trapped. Mandy Gaither has a look at how quickly temperatures in a car can rise.
It happens every year. As the sun beats down, the danger inside cars heats up.
If it's even for a minute, take your child with you. Do not leave anyone in a car, even if you're running an errand. For 1 minute, it can happen very quickly.
Since 1998, more than 940 children have died after either being left or trapped in a hot car. A majority of those deaths happen because someone forgets a child in a car.
Usually that's because their routine changed. So dad may typically drop off the child, but instead mom was dropping off the child at daycare and she forgot. She just went on to work, closed the car door, and went upstairs to her office.
Children's Healthcare of Atlanta's Strong for Life program says when it's 75 degrees out, it takes 30 minutes for the inside of a car to hit 104 degrees. But the danger rises with the temperature. At 95 degrees outside, it takes 5 minutes for the inside to reach 102. Dangerous for anyone, especially young children.
Their temperatures can rise about 3 to 5 times faster than adults. In addition, young babies and toddlers, they don't sweat as much, so they can't distribute that heat.
Experts say always check the back seat before locking car doors. It may help to leave something like a cell phone next to the car seat and have a plan with your child's daycare center.
Make sure that they check in on you if for some reason your child is late or not there that day, and just make sure that nothing happened.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Safety experts say to never leave a child alone in a car. Rolling down windows or parking in the shade does little to lower the temperature. That's a look at some of today's top health stories. You're watching the KOAM Morning News.
Yeah, we've got ourselves a pretty nice sunrise over Joplin this morning as we start to see some clouds clear out from some dying shower remnants. We're going to be a little warmer today. We'll talk about how warm it's going to get and some additional storm chances when we come back.
Right now at 6:30, KOAM Shagun Bomdale takes us to the campus of MSSU, where students will soon pay more in tuition.
We've got this beautiful sunrise here at 7th and Range Line. As clouds start to break up, we are looking at a warmer day today and another round of possible thunderstorms. Talk about that coming up.
And we've got some good news for anyone in the 4 states who's looking to have some fun, especially if you live in Missouri.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's now 6:31 on the dot. I'm Tanya Bach.
I'm Chris Warner. So it is a bit chilly again this morning, especially by June standards out there. Unfortunately, the chilly weather, this is it. So enjoy it because it's about to come to a screeching halt this week as temperatures will continue to rise. We've also seen a few stray showers. Now, most of the showers, unfortunately, have died out. We still have this one decent little shower now entering Ottawa and Delaware counties in northeast Oklahoma, and that's really about it. Earlier, we had slightly better looking showers, but again, they just kind of died out as the morning went on, unfortunately. MoDOT camera, 20th and Range Line. We're looking good so far from there. And same from the KDOT camera at 69 and East 520th Avenue, just south of Pittsburgh. And from our camera at 7th and Range Line, we've had this beautiful sunrise this morning, and it is looking great as the clouds continue to clear out. In terms of our temperatures, though, it is chilly out there, sitting at 56 in Joplin, south breeze at 5 with these partly to mostly cloudy skies. Around the area, again, a chilly start. We got 54 Nevada, Stockton, and Iola, 56 Fort Scott, Yates Center, 55 Pittsburgh, 60 in Parsons, 61 Miami, and 55 Neosho, Monette, and Carthage. As we get our morning started, we're going to transition to mostly clear to partly cloudy skies, warming into the low 70s by late today. Yesterday, or late morning. Yesterday was the upper 60s. So today, yes, warmer, but not a significant warm up. At least not yet. We're looking at highs, low 80s, mostly clear to partly cloudy skies across the area. We head into this evening, still some partly cloudy skies. We're dropping back to the low 60s. We could see some thunderstorms develop in southeast Kansas and roll into parts of southwest Missouri very late tonight. We're talking between 1 and maybe 4 a.m. We're not anticipating any strong storms, and not all the computers seem to agree that that's going to happen, but we'll keep an eye on it for you. However, it does trigger a catalyst for additional pop-up storms. We'll have those all the way through at least Monday of next week, and temperatures continue to rise. Low 80s tomorrow, mid 80s Thursday, low 90s Friday, low to mid 90s Saturday, Father's Day. Yeah, make sure you dress appropriately because we're looking at highs mid, maybe even upper 90s across the area, and we'll hang on the mid 90s as we kick off the next work week. Tanya?
All right, thanks, Chris. Starting this fall, students at Missouri Southern State University will pay higher tuition. KOAM's Shagun Bomdale has more.
The Missouri Southern State University Board of Governors approved a tuition hike. The standard in-state tuition rate per credit hour increases from $267.53 to $280 for the fall 2023. It could be challenging with inflation.
However, with this increase, we will still be the most affordable education among our competitors. And so we are very proud of the education that we offer to our students at that cost.
It's definitely hard for someone that has to pay for their own schooling. And as the prices increases, I'll have to put a lot more work into it and work even more hours on top of, going to school. And that does not help me at all.
Alyssa Alexander works in addition to taking classes. She says the increase will also affect her friends.
One of my best friends, she is struggling paying for school right now, and the increase in tuition will be detrimental for her, and she might have to look for other colleges or take classes somewhere else because she's already struggling to pay right now.
The school hopes students will stay despite the increase. Linda Ice says some students will be eligible for assistance that could cover a year's tuition.
Some of our students do qualify for full Pell and full Access Missouri, and those are grants that come through to students, and if they qualified for the full amount of both of those, it would be over $10,000.
In Joplin, Shagun Bomdale, KOAM News.
Total tuition cost after the increase will be $8,400 for someone taking 30 credit hours for the year. Well, Joplin organization made a donation to a Missouri Southern program aimed at connecting education and industry. The Arvest Foundation, part of Arvest Bank, donated $5,000 to the MOSO CAPS program. The program allows students to sample life on campus while working towards professional goals in a local industry. The donation will provide students with grants to achieve those goals.
Last year was our first year in our program, and we reached out to area industry partners and asked some of those industry partners to also be a corporate sponsor. And Arvest was one of the first ones to step up and to be a corporate sponsor.
Missouri Southern launched its CAPS program last year. Well, the Kansas Department for Aging and Disability Services will use a more than $3 million federal grant to implement youth suicide prevention and early intervention strategies. The grant aims to reduce suicides and suicidal ideation among Kansans ages 10 to 24. It will support the department in reaching out to young people through various institutions and systems, including schools, juvenile justice systems, mental health programs, and the foster care system. Well, now that kids are out of school for the summer, a lot of area parents have been scrambling to find childcare. One local mother tells us she had to make some big changes to make sure her son is accommodated for the summer.
Daycares are very packed right now, so it's hard to find a good quality childcare, and we've had to kind of adjust to where I've had to change my schedule a lot so that way I can be more on his schedule.
KOAM reached out to Kids Clubhouse Daycare in Joplin, who told us staffing shortages is the biggest problem this summer. Maple Leaf Festival organizers announced the theme for this year, There's No Place Like Home. The festival will take place from October 13th to the 21st with various activities throughout the week. Parade applications will be accepted starting July 10th. Additionally, the festival is introducing a new logo, and merchandise featuring the new look will be available for purchase. Full schedule of events will be released later in the summer. To learn more about the Maple Leaf Festival, you can head over to our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. Well, the Pittsburgh Festival of Arts resumed on Monday. Local musician and retired music education Jim Harris yesterday performed a variety of American folk tunes on different folk instruments at the Root Coffee House. Annual week-long event showcases different venues and musicians around Pitt State and throughout the community.
I like making music, and I have a degree in in composition and theory, and so I enjoy writing music and making up music and just sitting down at the piano and playing whatever feelings come to my mind and come to my heart. That's what I want.
And there will be several indoor concerts this week featuring jazz, brass, Latin, chamber music, and more. There's also an exhibit on display at the Bicknell Center. Well, good news for four-state residents who love roller coasters. Turns out Missouri has the most amusement parks per capita. That's according to the personal finance website Wallet Hub. All those parks help the Show Me State earn the rank of 16th most fun state in the country. The ranking is also based on factors like restaurants, movie theaters, and casinos per capita, among other criteria. Oklahoma comes in at 27th, Kansas is 38th, and Arkansas ranks 46th. That's a look at our top news stories. Coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News, traveling for fun, relaxation, and wellness.
Wellness travel is shifting since the pandemic. I'm Wendy Gillette in Scottsdale, Arizona, with how travelers' priorities are changing.
Plus, we've had a few stray showers this morning. Got the possibility of some thunderstorms later tonight, and we're going to be a bit warmer. We'll take a look at that full forecast when we come back. But first, got another live look from Carl Junction, as today is Second Tuesday in the park.
In Consumer Watch this morning, JP Morgan Chase agrees to pay a $290 million settlement to victims of deceased financer Jeffrey Epstein, according to a source familiar with the matter. It closes out a lawsuit filed by victims who claimed Epstein would not have been able to have his sex trafficking operation without the bank. Separate case accusing JP Morgan Chase of ignoring evidence of human trafficking in order to continue its business dealings with Epstein is still pending in the U.S. Virgin Islands. More layoffs in the tech sector. Grubhub says it's slashing 15% of its workforce. That's around 400 employees. The food delivery company sent a letter to staff citing rising operating costs as a reason for the layoffs. And it's 7-Eleven's Slurpees. They're getting a cool new look. Rebranded cups of the iconic frozen drink will feature vibrant colors and a big S logo as part of 7-Eleven's Anything Flows campaign. Slurpee lovers can also get $1 drinks delivered to their doors all summer long if they download the 7 Now delivery app. Wellness travel has exploded since the pandemic. The Global Wellness Institute reports the U.S. is by far the world's top wellness economy, valued at $1.2 trillion. Wendy Gillette reports.
The Savannah Wellness Resort and Spa lured Denver resident Victoria Hartman to the Arizona desert a couple weeks ago.
My goal was to try new classes and new experiences that I hadn't before.
And so I signed up for a lot of activities that I wouldn't normally have done.
The resort in Scottsdale offers spa therapies like craniosacral massages and dozens of classes a day, including sound healing for joy, intention candle making.
So it really becomes a very intuitive practice.
And the journaling for transformation class Hartman sampled.
I've come home and I've decided to try my hand at journaling. I've never done it before.
Increasingly, stays at the resort are focused on a similar experience.
We're seeing more guests participating in our workshop classes where they can learn about tools they can take home to bring happiness and wellness into their lives at home.
In a 2023 survey by American Express Travel, over 70% of respondents say they're more focused on self-care than they were a year ago. And almost 60% are planning to take extended trips centered around wellness.
It's why around 20% of guests at Victoria Jungfrau Grand Hotel and Spa in Interlaken, Switzerland, are scheduling 4 to 7 night stays.
It's to find the inner calm, to think differently.
We stayed at these hotels for special rates, including Anantara Layan in Phuket, Thailand, where travelers are seeking calm through the resort's 3-day sleep restoration program.
Since COVID, I think people are coming with an awareness of the importance of sleep and other lifestyle factors and how they impact on the immune system.
It's part of prioritizing health when it comes to booking travel. Wendy Gillette, CBS News.
And a few sleep tips from the resort include preparing a good environment in which to rest, eating well, and examining your caffeine intake. That's it for Consumer Watch. Here's Chris with another look at your forecast.
Yeah, we've got this beautiful sunrise here from 7th and Rangeline in Joplin. Still got some clouds out there as we had some showers earlier today, or this morning rather. Those are beginning to die out. There's really only one left in parts of Ottawa County and Delaware County. However, it is going to start to warm up today, and that's ahead of an even bigger warm-up that's going to be taking place. We'll take a look at your full forecast here in just a few minutes. But first, it's time for our daily celebration of birthdays and anniversaries. That's coming up after the break. But before we do that, why don't we go ahead and take a look at what's happening on CBS Mornings.
I'm Nate Burleson. Coming up on CBS Mornings, the multi-talented Rita Wilson will be with us to talk about her new single, and we may ask a question or two about working with her husband, Tom Hanks. That's coming up on CBS Mornings.
All right, time for some Tuesday birthdays here in the 4 states, and we're going to begin with Reich Carnell, turning 9 in Erie. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Rick. And Carly Kirkwood, turning 15 years old this year down in Welch, Oklahoma, with love from Mima and Papa Kirkwood.
And we've got Jamie Hernandez celebrating number 21 over in Carthage. Happy birthday, Jamie.
All right, Carl Maybe celebrating another year wiser in Columbus.
And Mike Setter over in Humboldt celebrating number 60. Says here, your family wishes you a great day. Happy birthday.
Connie Sponsel in Girard. Happy birthday to you.
And we've got Shirley York over in Pittsburgh celebrating number 87. Happy birthday, Shirley.
All right, in Sheldon, Missouri, Marilyn Overman wishing you a happy birthday.
And Dale Daniels over in Moundville, Missouri, celebrating a birthday today. Happy birthday.
And last but certainly not least, Ethel Devers in Pittsburgh. Happy birthday from your friends and family. We love you.
All right, we love celebrating birthdays and anniversaries with the 4 states. Tanya, how do they do that with us?
All they have to do is send them to us through this email, both birthdays and anniversaries, to birthdays with an S at KOAMnewsnow.com.
And of course, while you're on our website, make sure you take time to sign up for the KOAM Birthday Club. It is easy to do. You get special deals from local businesses. You also get a special birthday message from your friends here at KOAM. Just head over to KOAMnewsnow.com and sign up for the Birthday Club today. All right, let's take a look at Skywatch Storm Tracker. This is all that's left from our shower activity this morning. This one lone shower crossing through Delaware and Ottawa counties, now entering into McDonald County, and it'll continue to track on through as it slowly dies on out. And this now only going back 3 hours. You can see our showers, a couple of lines of them, they just kind of fizzled away. The only thing holding on was that little storm, and it's now just turned into a nice little shower. So unfortunately, not a lot of rain out of this, but there could be more rain on the way. MoDOT camera 20th and range line looking good so far as people get their day started out there, and we're looking all right from the KDOT camera at 69 and East 520th Avenue, just south of Pittsburgh. And from our camera at 7th and range line, looking great as well. We got some mostly cloudy skies, otherwise not bad, but chilly. 56 in Joplin right now. South breeze at about 5 miles an hour. Around the area, again, it's a chilly start, but this is the last one of these, really. We're at 53 in the Veda. Lots of 55s. We got Iola, Fort Scott, Lamar, Carthage, and Neosho all sitting at 55. 56 Pittsburgh, 60 in Parsons, Neodesha, and 61 in Miami. We get our day started. We're looking at mostly clear to partly cloudy skies as these showers roll on through, the remnants of them anyway. We'll go in the low 70s by late morning. Pinch warmer today, but it's just the beginning of a bigger warm up as we go back into the low 80s under mostly clear to partly cloudy skies throughout the afternoon. We'll have the same mostly clear, partly cloudy as we go through the evening. And then there's some computer models that seems to suggest that we could get some showers, maybe a couple of thunderstorms late tonight, say around midnight, 1 a.m. in southeast Kansas, and they'll roll eastward and eventually make it to far southeast Kansas and into southwest Missouri by about 3, 4 a.m. But not all the models agree, so we'll keep an eye on that. The good news is, regardless, we're not anticipating any strong or severe storms with that activity. Otherwise, just some much-needed rainfall if we can get it through here. Low 60s tonight, but got those pop-up storm chances beginning tomorrow afternoon, lasting at least through Monday of next week, and that warm-up continues. Low 80s tomorrow, mid-80s Thursday, low 90s by Friday, mid-90s by Saturday, maybe even the mid to upper 90s by Father's Day. So make sure you're prepared for this hot weather and holding on to the mid-90s as we kick off next week. We'll be back with more of the KOAM Morning News right after this.
Here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. A man dies from a sludge tanker truck overturning near EE and DD Road in McDonald County, Missouri. The crash happened Monday afternoon. Authorities say 61-year-old Byron Lampkin of Bluffton, Arkansas, was driving the sludge tanker when it crossed the road and overturned. He died at the scene. Tractor trailer overturns and spills 20 tons of steak fries. Authorities say the crash occurred around 11:45 Monday night. And troopers say the truck was heading east on Baseline when a tire dropped off the edge, causing the truck to overturn into a ditch. The driver of the truck was not injured. The Joplin organization made a donation to a Missouri Southern program aimed at connecting education and industry. Arvest Foundation, part of Arvest Bank, donated $5,000 to the MOSO CAPS program. The program allows students to sample life on campus while working towards professional goals in a local industry. Donation will provide students with grants to achieve those goals. Missouri has the most amusement parks per capita. That's according to the personal finance website Wallet Hub. All those parks helped the Show Me state earn the rank of 16th most fun state in the country. Ranking is also based in part on factors like restaurants, movie theaters, and casinos per capita. Oklahoma comes in at 27th, Kansas at 38th, and Arkansas ranks 46th. That's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door.
We've still got one stray shower in McDonald County this morning, and that will roll on out of here. After that, we will be mostly clear to partly cloudy, warmer today as we go into the low 80s. We head into this evening, still mostly clear, then partly cloudy as we head late evening and overnight, low 60s. Looking at the possibility of a thunderstorm or two overnight tonight, very early tomorrow morning. Otherwise, pop-up storm chances. Those return to our forecast heading into Monday of next week. And as we get closer to the first day of summer, temperatures really begin to climb. We go into the low, mid, maybe even upper 90s as we head into this weekend.
All right. Well, coming up today at noon, we're making south of the border chicken salad in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
And your morning news continues on KOAM with CBS Mornings. Former Republican Congressman and Speaker of the House Paul Ryan shares his thoughts on former President Trump's alleged mishandling of classified documents after he left the White House. That's coming up on CBS Mornings.
Or you can switch on over with us on Fox 14, where your only local morning news continues. And this morning, Get ready to head down the rabbit hole because we've got the cast of Alice in Wonderland joining us in studio this morning. Tell us about the latest upcoming production.
And Charlene Patton from the Kansas Soybean Commission stopping by to join us as well with a recipe you don't want to miss. That's going to wrap it up for us for here now. We'll see you back here tomorrow morning at 5 a.m.
And we're going to do it again today at noon.